Divine Rising. What's going on, you guys? Peace and love. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday thus far. I'm about to see if I can get a little music going before I get started, but I won't be too long. As you know, I have a lot of things to get done today. Let me see. I've been having some really slow internet lately, so we might just skip the music part altogether. But so what I wanted to talk about, right, is so here's the thing, right? A lot of what I was able to do for myself financially, and where I find myself today, to where I have security during this time where there's so much uncertainty, right? What I was able to do was to really live a minimalist lifestyle. If you've never heard of minimalism, go on YouTube. Go to Netflix and check out the documentary. But I think it's really fascinating because the whole thing is that it brings awareness to the fact that a lot of us are just over consumers. And what do I mean by that, right? And this is not for any reason at all, of course. We're hit with commercials left and right, especially for those of us who are always watching TV. And it's not even just on TV. You'll see it on social media. As you're scrolling up and down your timelines on Facebook, things are always being advertised to us, So we're always wanting more. And, you know, this is also just understanding the human psyche. We never feel like we have enough, right? And so what happens is we tap into this mode of, oh, I gotta have this. I can't live without this. I can't be without it, right? And it's like, this is so not true. So going back to what I had to do, and what I've learned throughout the years, right? When I first was working, my very first job, this was like some years ago, right, you guys? This is an example. Say I'm getting paid $9 an hour. I understand that's extremely low. Shout out to you, Isis Love. I see you, baby. We in the building. Shout out to Isis, you guys. She has came into my life and has really impacted me on ways that I can't even imagine. Shout out to you, Isis, but I don't want to get off topic. So yeah, here's the scenario, right? Say I'm getting paid, let's go for $10 an hour, right? And my boss decides to give me a raise. My raise goes to $20 an hour, right? If only life, right? It was actually like that. But you guys, what happens is, for a lot of us, when we get those raises, we end up spending more. So instead of us keeping the mindset of, you know what, I got, you know what I'm saying, a $10 raise. However, I'm going to continue to live as if I am only getting paid $10 an hour still. This is how you can accumulate wealth over time. But the problem is that, like I said, for many of us, the more money we attract, you know, the higher the income that's coming in, the more expensively we want to live. And so you guys, like, to me, it's just backwards. If we're looking to build generational wealth, why are we accumulating debt? Do you understand that debt can be passed down generations on generations? We're talking energy as well. You guys, like, for a lot of us who have children or want children, we got to understand the energy and what we are teaching our children to buy, consume, like giving your children every single thing they want. Like, this is penetrating their psyche in a way that we're not really understanding. And so just before I get off track, right? So like I was saying, you know, when I think about people who go to school, and I'm not knocking educations at all, like I said, and they get these high degrees, but then they get out of school and they now have these debts to pay, right? What ends up happening, it's not that they can't pay off their student loans, it's that they are now chasing the status that comes with the degree. And so now, you know what I'm saying, they're going and they're buying Mercedes-Benz. But then their student loans are like $78,000. Why not pay that off first? You see what I'm saying? Like, pay that off first. And so what ends up happening is, you know, what comes with the degrees is the status. Like, oh, okay, for example, not shooting out doctors, because there's a lot of doctors out there you know what I'm saying, who's are putting themselves on the front lines for many of us right now. You know what I'm saying? There are essential workers. However, I noticed that there comes a lifestyle that you have to live when you're a doctor. You have to drive a type of car. You got to live in a type of house. And so you guys, that status that we get sucked into and feeling like we have to now live up to the means of the title. And this is why I also say I don't like titles, because titles bring expectations of how we should act and what we should have and how we should maneuver. And so you guys know, like I said, if you are $75,000 in debt, why would you go and get a car that you cannot pay off in full? Because now what you're doing is you're accumulating more debt. And the more debt you have, you become a slave into paying it off. You have to keep up with that status. You have to have the Benz. You have to have, you know what I'm saying, the $500,000 house, just accumulating debt. And it's just like, man, now you have people who are living to keep up with the things that they have, who are working just to keep up with the things they have. And so, like I said, if you started off getting paid $10 an hour and you got a $10 raise and now you're getting paid $20 an hour, continue to live as if you're only getting paid $10 an hour and watch what happens. You take a percentage of that money, flip it. You take another percentage of that money, you save it. You see what I'm saying? You take another percent of that money and, you know what I'm saying, you pay off whatever debt it is you're having. Like, you guys, we have got to understand that our worth is not defined by the things that we have. You are not your car. You are not the clothes that you wear. You are not, you know what I'm saying, you're not any of these things. You are the spirit within. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you're listening to this, like, you are worthy. You are worthy because of the spirit that resides within you. You are worthy. You are enough. Live below your means. We are too concerned with trying to impress people who don't even care. And I get it. For a lot of people, they're going to say, well, you know, you're not there yet. You haven't accumulated wealth to the point where you know what it feels like to walk into a luxurious designer store and purchase whatever you want. What value is that going to bring to my life? Purchasing a $1,000 shirt. I'm not knocking anybody who has it. However, I don't need a $1,000 shirt on my back to know that I'm worthy. You see what I'm saying? Like, no. And then on top of that, I'm over supported. There's no more support in these designers that could care less about us. Why am I supporting you and making you rich? It's so crazy because there are so many black owned businesses out here who we could really be bringing up through the roof. We're the biggest consumers on the face of this earth. We could really be pushing, you know, but when we see one of our own selling a shirt that's $35 and you're like, why would I pay $35 for this shirt? Why would you pay $1,000 for that somebody else's who don't even support you or care for your kind? A lot of these designers cannot stand us, wouldn't even hire us. Most of the time, look at how they act. They judge us when we walk into these stores. This is who we want to support? No, let's start cultivating our money within our own communities. There are tons of successful designers that aren't getting the support they need. So you guys, that's really all that I had to say today. Is minimalism is where it's at. Right? It really is. And it's so crazy because the journey has been beautiful. Anybody who knows me about 4 years ago, I used to spend $300 a month on hair. Just getting my hair done. I can't even begin to tell you how much I was spending on getting my nails done. Going natural and becoming and transitioning into this minimalist lifestyle was such a benefit to me because now I'm in love with my natural self. I've figured out how to love and care for my own hair. I've saved over $300 a month from switching to wearing my own hair. You guys, So we cannot walk around and say that we don't have it. No, our priorities are placed in the wrong place. And another thing that I want to talk about, to the people who look at people and judge people by what they have on and the kind of cars they drive, you don't know what that person's priority is. Because for a lot of people who are building generational wealth, we understand, we're thinking longevity. We're not thinking about right now. We're not thinking about ourselves. When we talk about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, you can't have a mindset that is selfish. It's not about me. So yeah, I can miss out on getting me a car right now. I could go and get a car right now. A brand new car. But for what? It does not align with what I'm trying to do. I want to be able to walk into a dealership one day and pay off in full. I'm not accumulating debt. That is not the relationship that I want with money. It's unhealthy. I get it. There is good debt. We'll get into that another time. But for a lot of us, we're accumulating debt for all the wrong reasons. Anyways, you guys, I love you. I just had to say that. I always have to say that because I know sometimes my passion can come off as like I'm snapping, but I love y'all. Like, and we got to wake up. And I just want you guys to see your worth and to know that you are worthy simply because, like, let's stop trying to impress people who don't care. Peace and love, you guys.